You may need to go back to W3 Total Cache and experiment with some of the settings in here. Now let's go back to the website and let's look at the source code. So if we look at the view page source, we'll see that all of the URLs have been replaced. It used to be www.whatstevethings.com, where your style sheets and other files were being served from. Now all of these files are being served from the temporary URL that you were given when you set up your MaxCDN account. So this shows that the site is now working properly and as expected with the CDN. And after we refresh the page, it appears as you would expect. So it looks like we didn't break the website when we implemented it. Now let's go and rerun our web page test. So I'm going to go ahead and start test, and since this takes a couple of minutes, I'm going to pause the recording and I'll come right back. Okay, we're back. I have run the web page test twice. Like I said earlier, this test sometimes encounters some latency, so the first test didn't give us a great score for the first byte time. But now that I've run it twice, you can see that our page speed score has gone from a 70 up to an 89. Before we had 3 different Fs in here. Now we have mostly A's, 1 B, and then a content distribution network detected. And so let's compare the two side by side. So we have the web page test before, so an F, A, F, B, F, and X. And now we have all A's. Let's compare the times. So here we have the first view, load time of 7.3 seconds, starts rendering in 3.1 seconds. After, it looks like the first view, the full view, takes a little bit longer, but the start rendering time is much faster. The 1.3 seconds, that's how long it's going to take your visitors to start seeing your web page render, and that's really the most important metric. Because you want someone to be able to see content immediately rather than a blank screen when they first come to your website. So that's really the most dramatic improvement. That went from a little over 3 seconds to about 1.3 seconds, so much faster. The time for the total document to load, 7.3 seconds, actually went up a little bit with the CDN, and that could be because the amount of traffic on the network is different during the different times that we ran this test. I'm not sure exactly why that would have gone up under the web page speed test, but if we look at the web page itself and we do a reload, we do see that that does render very quickly now. So the other thing is the repeat view. So how long does it take the repeat view to render? So before we had the start rendering in 1.8 seconds and a load time of 2.8 seconds. After, we have 1.4 seconds, so the start rendering is considerably faster. The total load time is just a little bit slower. But again, the time it takes to start rendering is probably the more important metric. And again, over here we see that the CDN is detected, so web page test agrees that we have implemented this correctly. Just one or two other things to note. If you make changes to your site, one of the things you'll want to do is go into your browser cache, into your WordPress admin, and go into the Performance tab up here at the top and hit Empty All Caches. What that does is that empties out the versions of the files that exist on the edge of the network and repopulates it with the fresh copies on your web server. So that ensures that what you want your visitors to see, your visitors will see the most recently changed versions of your files. Usually this happens automatically if you're using the W3 Total Cache plugin, but if you are using a non-W3 Total Cache website and you've manually changed your code so that static files are fetched from the edge network rather than from your web server, then it's a good idea to go ahead and empty caches from time to time just to make sure that your users are getting the latest versions of the files. So in a nutshell, that's it. Quick and dirty overview of how to implement a CDN for your WordPress website. Good luck with it. Hopefully you won't have any trouble implementing it, and hope that this improves your SEO efforts.